Right, everybody, in this video we'll be doing the latest Manchester United news. I'll be talking about new Old Trafford regeneration. I'll be talking about Yoro returning, Gyokeres to Manchester United, Anthony return, Maguire new contract, and much more. So I'm going to start off by talking about Victor Gyokeres to Manchester United. Now, listen, Sporting, Amarim has said Gyokeres won't be joining Manchester United, particularly in that first window. Obviously, we know he's got a release clause of between 60 to 70 million euros, and the Times are reporting Premier League clubs have been told that Victor Gyokeres, the Sporting Lisbon striker, could be available for little as 63 million euros. 63 million pounds. Victor Gyokeres has an 83 million pound release clause in his contract with Sporting, which expires in 2028, but it's understood that he has a gentleman's agreement with Sporting to allow him to leave next summer for that lower fee of around £63 million. Now, there's no doubt he's a good striker and he has very good qualities. He's a player with a lot of potential, which he's proven at Sporting. Obviously, that move, which ultimately Manchester United director Dan Ashworth allowed him to leave Brighton to go to Coventry, which eventually led him to go to Sporting and do fantastically well. Now he's got very good stats under Amarim, and has scored a lot of goals and a lot of assists. I think it's 67 games, 66 goals and 19 assists or something like that. An insane amount of goals and assists. Yes, people are going to say he's doing it in a lower league, but he has proven it. It's been a great rise in his career, and even again yesterday, scoring a hat-trick against Man City. Yes, it was 2 penalties, but he had other chances to score as well. He would be a player I would welcome at Manchester United, obviously. But again, listen, you look at our options. We want Rasmus Højlund. The only way I would see United get this move, if maybe, like I think Amarim likes Højlund and a play he can maybe make his own. Gyokeres, I think they are very good potentials. Strikers, particularly in Rasmus Højlund. Now, if Xerxes were to leave, which probably wouldn't happen, maybe you can bring in Gyokeres. Will United have the funds to do so? We don't know. But on that, for me, listen, I wouldn't mind Gyokeres coming in. He's very good. And yeah, I think he's absolutely fantastic. We know what he can do. He's proven it over a consistent period of time, and is one of the top goal scorers in world football at the minute, behind Haaland. So he is definitely showing why. It's a whole different ball game adapting to the Premier League, but I think that's something he can definitely do. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is Old Trafford. Manchester, we've heard a couple of days ago that United are delaying the Old Trafford rebuild. And it said Manchester United are considering 3 Old Trafford regeneration options: regenerate the existing stadium, the team play at Old Trafford while work commences stand by stand. The maximum capacity would be 90,000. The second option is new Old Trafford with current land constraints. This would involve cutting off the Stretford end to finish the build. Maximum capacity would be 100,000. And United Dreams plan. The government support the cost of moving the rail freight company to Liverpool, which opens up much more land. Max capacity would be 100,000. Now listen, out of them 3, I'd probably pick, we don't want to cut off the Stretford end, maybe regenerate the existing stadium and take that to 90,000. Now that would get filled easily. There's millions of fans worldwide who want to go to Trafford but haven't had that opportunity to do so. It's absolutely great to kind of go there. It's one of the best stadiums, or if not the best stadium in the world, and as I said, that would get easily filled. It's a stadium with that aura, with that feeling for many Manchester United fans, and it's a great stadium to go to. For me, I would love regeneration. I think changing the stadium for the better will be absolutely beneficial for Manchester United fans going forward. Now, we'll have to wait and see what happens, but I thought I'd talk about that. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is the defensive issues. So I'm going to talk about Lenny Yoro first and then Harry Maguire. So Lenny Yoro did not complete the full training session with Manchester United today, but he's edging closer to a return. And obviously Lenny Yoro, unfortunately, has been out with that foot injury since the pre-season and didn't even get a competitive game under Ten Hag. Now, I think he wasn't really a Ten Hag signing either. Anyway, I think he was definitely one of those sort of players for the future. You kind of look at in 5-6 years still being at the club and being one of the best in his positions. I think this has come at a perfect time. He'll be back for the game against Ipswich, which will be Amarim's first game. I think he might not start that game, but he's definitely one in contention. I think he's a very, very good player and will suit the Amarim formation fantastically well in that role, covering channels, covering spaces, high line, physical, have to drive with the ball as well. You could see him even play central centre-back, where he's the one in Amarim's system who has to carry the ball forward. There's a variety of opportunities linking him to Manchester United. I think he will have a big career at United, and what we've seen so far is fantastic. But yeah, he got a nice and warm welcome, and he did return back to training now. Maguire now, reports are suggesting that Harry Maguire does not want to leave Manchester United and wants to stay at the club and kind of earn this spot under Amarim. He's going to refuse to sign a pre-contract with anyone until January and kind of allow himself to work and prove to Amarim that he can stay. Now, obviously, Maguire's a player whose contract runs out in the summer, so United will have to make a decision then whether they want to extend it or not. I think Maguire ultimately will be a player Amarim will obviously look at. He'll look at all the United players. For me, listen, Maguire's been a great servant to the club, but is he a Premier League winner centre-back? He could be in this system, and the Amarim in this first season, he could be someone he uses, but going forward into the future, I don't think Maguire is the one now. Then that central centre-back role is fantastic for him. It will kind of, in the back three, he would work, and that's something we've often talked about to facilitate Maguire. But for me, listen, he's, almost 32 now, I think. He's on 200 grand a week. He's been at the club now for 5-6 years. I think it would be someone to let go. I think they're thankful for his time. There was a period where he was one of the best centre-backs in the league in terms of tackles, interceptions, but going forward, I think United do need better centre-backs. Now, you look at it in next summer, we're probably going to look to get rid of a few centre-backs anyway. Johnny Evans' contract is up, Lindelof's contract's up, so there'll be 2 players going. If United cannot replace him, they might be able to keep him for another season, but ultimately that wouldn't be a risk I'm willing to pay. If you look at it, if Johnny Evans and Lindelof are set to leave at the end of the window, at the end of the season, as their contracts expire, we will literally have Yoro, De Ligt, Martinez and Maguire. We need, ultimately you want cover in each centre-back position. And if Amarim's going to play 3, you would want 6 centre-backs. We would only have 4 in that case. So you could see maybe one of Lindelof or Evans stay, even both of them stay. For me, I would want Maguire to go. He's reluctant. In that case, I would keep him, but we definitely need a defensive revamp anyway, because, listen, out of De Ligt, Yoro, Martinez, anyone after that I don't think is to that elite standard, and that's something we need, whether that's Branthwaite, whether that's Diomande from Sporting, Iheanacho from Sporting. They're players we were looking at pre-Amarim anyway, but there's definitely other players, Lukeba as well. There's other players out there who can have an impact for Manchester United now. The last thing I'm going to talk about, United are planning to sign, they're looking for an affordable striker in January. Who that will be, we don't know, but that's something quick there. The last 2 things I'm going to talk about is United tracking Sporting winger and Goretzka to Manchester United. So, Manchester United are tracking Sporting winger Giovanni Quenda. United have been following Quenda's progress since the start of the season. Portuguese sources have likened his talent and work ethic to Arsenal winger Bukayo Saka now. Quenda's a player who plays that right wing-back role for Sporting under Amarim. That could be something he occupies, obviously, at Manchester United. He's 17 years old. Very good winger. Had a good game against City last night. I think he did provide the assist for the Gyokeres goal. A very, very good player, a young player, but this is expecting that United will United are obviously going to be linked to every Sporting player. We've already been linked to Gyokeres, Diomande, Iheanacho. Like a lot of players have been linked to Manchester United. On this case, in Quenda, I think he's definitely someone to keep an eye on. And then we do need someone in that position. He's more of a winger, but does play that wing-back role. He has got the energy and the engine to do that, but I'll talk about that. And the last thing, Manchester United are searching for a number 8 in January. They closely monitor the Goretzka situation, but he does not want to leave Bayern this winter now. Goretzka has been linked to United for some time now, even since the summer. He's a player who's not really appreciated at Bayern at the minute. I don't think he's playing much minutes under them. He's a decent player. Don't get me wrong. A very good player, but I think he will add quality. I think he is 30. I think the profile that Ineos are looking for, that more younger, up-and-coming player, which obviously you don't have in Goretzka. But listen, let me know your thoughts on the news. I'll run through it quickly. Thanks for watching.